Anxiety. This is something that plagues 1 in 3 people. It is absolutely incredible what a massive ordeal this is, how many people struggle with it throughout their lifetime. I think everybody at some point feels anxiety, but we're talking about an actual anxiety diagnosis versus actually just having a little bit of anxiety here and there. Now, yesterday I was watching this documentary about anxiety. And what was really fascinating was that everyone that they were talking to were either people who struggled with anxiety or psychiatrists who prescribed the medication. They weren't talking to any naturopathic practitioners. They didn't talk to any naturopaths. They didn't talk to any hypnotherapists. They didn't talk to mineral specialists. They didn't talk to hormone specialists. There are all sorts of other practitioners that actually are very aware of what's going on and actively successfully resolve anxiety in clients, because they understand that the medication, albeit sometimes needed in certain circumstances, I'm not here to knock anybody who's taking medication, is not the only answer. And it wasn't made abundantly clear what the true cause of anxiety is and how to actually resolve it. It was just a whole big conversation about Xanax, anxiety drugs, and depression meds. And somebody watching that is going to be really, really clear on the fact that the barbiturates that people are taking aren't necessarily the answer. However, what is? They hinted at the fact that anxiety is the way that the mind is talking to you to tell you that there's something wrong. But in all reality, there wasn't real resolution. Now, I'm going to let you know that this is a topic that is very close to my heart, because I've been working with clients for a decade to help them to resolve anxiety and all sorts of other issues. And I am just about to publish a book called The Ultimate Guide to Overcome Anxiety. And this book is being co-authored with a mineral specialist who has dealt with thousands of clients over the last decade who struggle with anxiety and has been able to successfully resolve it as a result of balancing the mineral imbalance in their body as a result of what they've gone through taking copper IUDs. So yes, this is women. What we don't understand, what so many people don't understand, the masses don't understand, is that when your blood sugar's low, it can create anxiety. When your minerals are out of whack, it can create anxiety. When you have extreme trauma in your past that is unresolved, it can create anxiety, okay? When your body is in danger or in threat, it can create anxiety. When you're not getting enough sleep for a prolonged period of time, it can create anxiety. There are many core factors that could actually create anxiety that are not being honored and looked at by the people in the allopathic space. And what is being presented to you as an answer that they are prescribing to you long-term has very dangerous long-term health effects and should only be used in circumstances to help a person create balance and peace of mind to be able to do the internal work or the physical work that needs to be done in order to be able to resolve this situation. Okay? If you are in a place where your mental state is so impaired, you can't even begin to invest in yourself to do that, then yeah, I'm not here to judge you making the choice to take some Xanax or take whatever else it is that you need to take for about a month. It is recommended you take that drug no longer than a month, which means it is just something that helps you to get up and fight for yourself. Get up and invest in yourself. I'm going to make it very, very, very clear, because I am so passionate about this, that you have anxiety for a reason. Your mind is trying to paralyze you, to stop you, and get you to pay attention to something that needs to be sourced and cleared. Depression and anxiety and PTSD have a purpose. Our mind is paralyzing us to get us to pay attention, to self-communicate, because there is something that needs to be healed. When you take the time to source, to honor, to hold space for, to clear what needs to be cleared, the anxiety will release. The depression will release. The PTSD will release. You are only being paralyzed because you haven't been paying attention to what you need to pay attention to. You haven't been listening to yourself. You've been pushing it off. You've been burying it. You've been hiding it. You've been ignoring it. Now, I'm going to be gentle and say, this isn't your fault. Society has taught you to bury. Society has taught you to walk away from, to dissociate from. Everyone is taught to bury and ignore their emotions. This isn't your fault. It's societal programming. If you are an adult right now watching this though, and you're hearing this, and you choose to ignore it and not go and do the work to resolve it, now you're in not just ignorance where you were before, you're in arrogance, and you're choosing to stay in a place of pain. You're choosing to neglect the trauma. When you don't know better, well then obviously you're not the one to blame. It's societal programming. This isn't on you. But once you know better and you don't jump on it and act and invest in yourself, well, that's when we have an issue. So I am speaking my truth because a lot of other people aren't. People aren't telling you that this is self-communication, that this is your mind talking to you and paralyzing you to get you to pay attention and heal. So, sweetheart, if you don't want to live with the anxiety anymore, if you don't want to live with the depression anymore, if you don't want to live with the PTSD anymore, if you don't want to take medication long-term that's going to cause major health issues, there are answers. Look outside of the allopathic world because there are many practitioners, including me, who have the answers. I say this with so much passion because I want to see you heal and thrive. Each and every one of you on this planet, I want to see you thrive. Very passionately. I am here with love, calling this out in hopes that people that are struggling will hear this and seek long-term resolution, not just short-term resolution. Another thing that I really quickly want to mention, the fact that when you're not actually doing the work and resolving your issues and you're utilizing medication over a long-term period to cope with it, you're actually not creating resilience. You're not actually learning how to work with your mind and learning how to work with your body in order to be able to thrive. So if you really want to thrive, if you want to learn how to create a beautiful relationship with your mind, if you want to experience real peace, real inner peace that can't be experienced with a medication, there's answers. There's absolutely answers. Again, I hear you and I see you guys, and I see the struggle that's going on in the world, and I just want to see you thrive. Mwah.